Welcome to my second live of Creative Arts Therapy Week Summit. Um, the theme for today is about rootedness, which I've done a video before, but it feels like it needs a revisit with what's happening in the world today, that it somehow relates to stability versus mobility, that it relates to how does it relate to grounding, and how do you connect with where you're currently physically living. I've been so mobile most of my adult life in terms of living in many places, and being in nature is a real helpful tool. And right, I just was outside with a tree that I've kind of adopted as a nice tree to ground me, to hold me, to connect me deeply into nature, which is also my true nature as well. So what I thought we would do today is we might just do this whole thing standing. If you can't, you can of course do it sitting, or you can lie on the floor. Last time I remember I had us really rooting through the belly to the floor, and especially in the stress of what's happening with the virus. You may just want to, lay and feel that connection that way. But I'm going to do something slightly different, but you are welcome to be in whatever position suits you. So when I come up to standing, I'm really connecting into my feet, and I really like, a bit of mobility to really feel into each foot. And one of the things that's been happening in meetings I've been in lately, especially with the Dance Therapy Association of Australasia, is that we really are always responding to giving thanks to the land and the ancestors who once lived on this land. And for me, I'm in Guam, so this is again connecting for me into the Chamorro people who have lived on this land for I don't know how many, thousands and thousands of years. So just bringing them in and thanking them that I have this opportunity to live here. So where you live might be completely different, or there might be some confusion. What are the ancestral connections here? And so it's really nice to feel that. It's also thanks to my dear energy friend, Jacqueline Atkins. She talks a lot when she does meditations to just ground into your deep, deep tap root that really connects into the earth. So maybe you'll find that really helpful. And one thing I love that she's been doing lately is maybe take that root system to different places in the world where you feel connected. And maybe that's really vital today because of what's happening with the virus. So for me, Sicily still means a lot. So I feel connected to Sicily. I feel connected to New Zealand because I lived there the longest of my adult life. And just the other day, a friend of mine posted a house in Boston that looked just like a house that I used to live in, one of the triple deckers. So there's still some longing to root there. And then my birth home of Louisville, Kentucky, I want to root there and feel my ancestors from Kentucky and, feel that connection. So you can create this process for yourself in whatever ways that really works for you. What do you want to call in and feel through your feet? And can you, if we just move a little bit with a bit of bending the knees and coming up, can you feel that natural relationship to gravity and how the earth pulls us into earth through gravity? And sometimes we don't have the most positive relationships to gravity. The other thing is maybe you want to find or just imagine a tree that feels really special to you, to really feel that extensive root system. Like now I'm feeling how the roots just really extend, and it helps me in my movement exploration to add a little bit more of the body so that it has a breath to it, that the stability is not just I wanted to say unimaginable, but that the stillness around it, is we're never completely still when we have the breath still moving us. So I'm exaggerating this a little bit. So perhaps you can feel that pulse or whatever you want to call it, that movement that brings you life into those helps you feel really grounded into those feet. And something that's going to help us through this challenging time is to really give ourselves time to feel that rootedness throughout the day. So having that rootedness then allows us to then have the unrootedness or the mobility in our body. So finding that stability helps us find mobility through the body. So that's also something that in your own space you can play with. You can also, if in this rooted process you start to develop a real strong image, you might want to just take paper and markers or pastels and just draw that for yourself. Sometimes, that artwork gives us something to really take in every day, to really look. So I'm just gonna keep my little sort of breathy, sway-y feeling into my rootedness. And see what else needs to move a little bit with that. For me, since Guam just had the first cases of the illness on Sunday night, I'm still letting that sort of digest through the body, because in some ways we've all wanted to put our head in the sand and not see what's happening in the world. And we knew it would eventually get here, but we hope that we can contain it. But it's a real step into the unknown. So when we want to really trust the unknown and what's going to come before us, can we just really root ourselves, find the way to trust the earth, to trust nature, that things move in waves, sometimes in spirals. And we never exactly know what life's going to bring to us. So just by doing this little bit of movement for me is really connecting me much more into my aliveness, into my body. So feel free to take this movement further if after I finish this live, you just want to keep the movement experience rolling. For me, I can feel it really wants to extend more, so a bit of bend and extend. You may have something different. You may feel that the bottom half wants to be stable so that you can mobilize your upper body. So there's just so much you can use with this and where you can go with this. So that's what I'm offering today. And tomorrow I will likely come live an hour earlier at 8 a.m. I think it'll be 7 a.m. Thursday, and I think Friday I'll probably come back to 8. But one of the days I'm going to talk about our physical storytelling project that we've been doing over the last little while, and especially more recently with people in China, as well as some people that were in the UK trying to get back to Italy when Italy was shutting down, about how we've been using physical storytelling over the internet to support other creative arts therapists. So, so I will gather my themes today and my times, and I'll post them on my page. I'll send them to Erica so that people have a fuller sense of when I'm live. So have a lovely day. Blessings.